Hello, everyone. We are Byte Brigade, a team of 5 developers. Alex is database manager. Baker is extension developer. Rainey is security developer. Sherez is front-end developer. And myself, Shri, I'm a front-end developer as well. We are here to offer a solution named Lock and Key. Let's explore the problem for which Lock and Key is a solution to. Every day, thousands of security breaches are happening all around the world. Yet, people reuse simple passwords because it's easier to remember. All the users are still at risk of exposing information to hackers to break into accounts by brute force or easy guesses via personal information. How many of us do you think use our birthday as password or any other special occasion? For example, anniversaries, mom's birthday, dad's birthday, partner's birthday, or it can also be lucky numbers, zodiac signs, even pet names can become passwords. And anyone who knows you can guess them and gain access to your privacy. It's not only about passwords, but also about the financial card details that are at risk. We need a safe house to keep such information secure. But the recent password manager apps hold high subscription prices, weak security, reusing weak passwords, and also missing convenience features like autofill, easy web extensions, strong password suggestions, etc. We need password manager app that provides security while addressing the above mentioned issues. And our solution to you is Lock and Key.
Hi, my name is Alex Dupree, and I'm going to be talking about what Lock and Key is, as well as the goals we had in mind when developing our app. Lock and Key is a password manager app which allows users to store and manage not only their passwords, but other private data such as API keys and credit card information. Our team firmly believes it is important that everyone has a place to reliably and securely store their passwords. That is why our top priorities when developing Lock and Key were security, of course, as well as ease of use. We sought to make an app that was simple enough for anyone to use, while also providing features that those more well-versed in data security will appreciate, ranging from simple features like plainly storing a password to more complex ones like secret key generation. Lock and Key is meant to be a password manager app for anyone and everyone.
Hi, my name is Rainey, and I worked on the security engineering tasks for Lock and Key. So, this is Bob Spector. Bob is a computer science student looking to safely secure his passwords without spending money on a subscription. He finds our web app and decides he's going to create an account. Once Bob creates an account, he'll receive an email to verify his email address. Now that Bob is logged in, he feels like the white background is a little too bright for him. Bob decides to change this by going to the settings and switching the app to dark mode. There is also a high contrast mode if he needs it. Oops, it looks like Bob has a typo in his name when he signed up. Not to worry, he's able to change that in the settings too. He's also able to update his email settings and add different emails to his account. Of course, it'll have to be verified first. Now Bob knows that passwords alone are not the best way to secure his account, so he goes to the multi-factor tab. Here, Bob has the option to sign up with an authenticator app, add a FIDO2 compliant security key, or use the biometric scanner on his device. Let's add an authenticator app to Bob's account. Here, Bob scans the QR code and types the code that's generated from his authenticator app into the box. Once that's done, he gets 10 recovery codes that he can save to his device, just in case he doesn't have access to his phone. Now, next time Bob logs in, he'll be prompted to put in his authenticator code. Looks like Bob is now ready to store all of his passwords.
Hey everyone, I'm Shahid Aziz and I'll be going over some of the core features of our web app. Starting out at the homepage, Bob receives a warm welcome, followed by notification that there are no passwords at the moment. We can hit the big add sign to add some passwords. Let's say Bob uses a drawing tool to create UML diagrams for his work. He'll type in drawing tool to remember this as a reference, followed by his username on the actual app, which happens to be Bold Bob. He'll add in the URL for Excalidraw, the tool he's using, followed by the phone number associated with his account there. The key here is to use one of the formats for phone numbers we've given you. We'll use a fake number for now. We'll add in the date this password was created, today, and the best part for last, the password itself. This can be whatever gibberish you like, but that's obviously not safe. So you have the generate password feature, which is powerful in that it allows you to customize the length of the password, include or exclude symbols. Once you're happy with what you have, you can use the password and hit submit. A subtle thing to notice is that we not only hide the content of your valuable information, but also the length of the info. You can copy the password to your clipboard for convenience as well. Let's say Bob wants to now have a physical print of all of his passwords, and assuming there may be hundreds of rows in this table, it's not possible to handwrite them. So you can hit the export button and get all of his files or all of his information conveniently into one CSV. This can then be printed for physically. The export feature has multiple other use cases such as this one. Now let's assume for a moment Bob comes into our web app having a lot of passwords already in tow, and now he wants to integrate them into our app, but he doesn't want to go in and manually add them in one by one. He can choose to upload a file, like this one. You'll notice that it uses the same field names as our export password CSV. That can simply be copied and pasted over into this one. If Bob doesn't want to use a certain field, for example the URL, he can simply leave it as not applicable or blank. Let's try to upload this file now. Once we have the confirmation, we can hit refresh. And voila, we have everything in one place instantly. Our app is not only designed for passwords, but also to store API keys as it was made with developers in mind. If you want to include all of your personal credit information, you can also do that using the card details feature. And that's really what Lock and Key is. It allows you to bundle up all your information securely and conveniently into one place. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Baker Womack, and I'll be going over the Chrome extension portion of our demo. So we're continuing with our user Bob here, and Bob has entered in some emails, or some credentials, some API keys, and some card details. So now he wants to use the nice Chrome extension that we've built out. So he's going to go here, he's going to download it from our GitHub. We have the extension right here, the extension path, and then select folder. So let's check out the extension. We see that we have a nice login screen right here. We need an email, password, and secret key. This is going to be the same email and password from the main app you use to sign in. The only difference being with the secret key. And so the secret key is going to be in settings, then secret key, and here's your secret key right here. I got a nice copy icon. And so what the secret key is actually doing, it's actually encrypting the traffic between the extension and the main app. So if you do run it locally only on HTTP, you're actually still going to be secure even if it's not running HTTPS because it's encrypted by this key. So let's check out kind of more functionality about this extension. We see that it expands, nice expand option. We have an editing button, which will go to the main app, to the key, where you can edit it right there. We also have a delete button to delete passwords, and we have a refresh button. Sometimes when you're running locally, sometimes if your computer's not have enough power, you need to refresh through here. So we just have that set up just in case. If you're running through the cloud, there shouldn't be any issues. Check out the API keys. We basically the same setup, and same thing with credit cards. Let's check out the settings page. We see that it's basically the same as our login page, except have the nice logout feature that clears out everything for you as well. So let's go ahead and add a password. Let's say Bob he's tired of class and he's tired of remembering his USC password, so he's just going to go ahead and say this on our password app. So he's going to use this nice use current website URL. It's going to fill in the name, the website. It's going to put his email. Let's say Bob wants to use a new password. He can generate this using our nice generate password button with some different options. And then he can also you can set up a phone number if you want, that's only optional, then the password creation date to check whenever where a password should be expired or not. So we're going to hit this, we're going to submit this. Okay, been added. We can check that it's expanded details all through here. And we can also edit and delete this password. So let's check out how this works whenever Bob signs in again. We see that we have a nice lock and key button underneath now. And we can go ahead and it goes ahead and autofills. Another feature about this is that if there is multiple credentials for this same website, it will all pop up in a line like that button was before. So let's continue on and check out another feature the extension has. So we can see that it has this nice save with lock and key. So I'm going to go ahead and refresh this page. Bob wants to join Hilton Honors. He's tired of school and he's ready for some vacation. So he's going to enter in his information, put in his email, and he's not very good with passwords, so he's going to use one of our nice password generation apps. So you can change this however he likes. And so that looks good to him. So I'm going to hit this. We see that's already filled in for him. So he just has to put his username. Depending on how the system uses, it may use his username or his email. Just so for the time being, I believe Hilton uses your username, not your email. So let's go ahead and submit this. Okay. So we see that with all this information, all the information also filled out. Let's say Bob is now done with Hilton and now wants to move on to Hyatt. You can just click this delete button and it deletes. This is basically the same setup as the API key. We can add any service. Let's say he's adding Open AI key. The service is OpenAI. And then he has one of the tokens he has in here. Submit that. Okay. We can see it, then we can also delete this real quick. And then we have the same exact thing with adding a new credit card. Works the same way. And then whenever Bob's finished, he can go over here. If he needs to change secret key, regenerate it for whatever reason, you can always change that right through here. If he needs to change his password, he will obviously have to update the extension as well. And whenever he's finished the extension, he can, if he wants to sign into a different account, he can click this logout shown here, and we can see that everything has been logged out for him. And actually, when we go back out, go back in, we see that it's presented back to the login screen. But that is it for me. Thank you so much for your time.